Some Like It Hot is a web series that has been proven to be helpful to one's mental, emotional, and physical health. Those who conduct this experiment encourage anyone interested in viewing the whole series to remain off of certain prescribed drugs. If you are currently on Claritril, dextromethorphan, promethazine, please stop viewing this. Get help. Viewer discretion is advised.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. And if you do not want to see me again, I would understand. The angry boy, a bit too insane, unseen over a secret pain. You know you don't belong. Hello everyone. I once crashed my Ford Fiesta attempting to dodge an opossum in the middle of the road. Back here with another episode of Some Like It Hot, the hit international web series where I embarrass myself for the hopeful enjoyment of someone viewing it. This week, I have something a little bit special prepared for you guys. Rather than just going to the store and grabbing a random fucking smorgasbord of items and just making an episode out of it, this one actually kind of has a little bit of a theme towards it.
I feel pretty proud of myself for coming up with it. Feel free to kiss my ass in the comments.
Last week, I mentioned a character known as William Broden. I prefer to call him Billy. He's a friend of mine. He is an active fan of this little show we're on right now, this little web series, if you would. I was editing last week's episode, and he had called me up, and it was probably one of the most uncomfortable 45 minutes I've had over the phone. But it gave me some very good ideas in terms of a future episode being
This episode.
So, everyone say thank you, William/Billy, in the comments.
Because he is the one who orchestrated this
beautiful episode that you're currently viewing. I know I made Will out to be a very unreliable character, and if he ever comments anything, do not believe a word he says. That's because he is. But he's an honest man. He's also one of the legitimately weirdest people I've ever had the pleasure of talking with. I know currently he is in Maine, somewhere between nowhere and trees. I don't think Maine has town names or like organized communities. They just kind of exist. So I know that he is in the woods somewhere. I think he is like a feral animal out on the prowl hunting to remain alive. I don't know how he finds the time every week to not only watch the entirety of my videos, but to also give golden comments that you have probably seen
On all the YouTube videos.
While talking to Will last week, he gave me some
golden ideas.
I think he didn't know he was giving me golden ideas. He was just talking about things that he eats on the regular. And in my mind, I thought,
Wow, that sounds fucking disgusting. I'd love to do that on the show.
I didn't run any of this by him. I just listened to what he had to say, and I just went ahead and grabbed all these items that he was talking about. And then hopefully on Saturday, it'll be a pleasant surprise when he sees the episode and realizes that a normal person is going to be following the same food regimen as he does on a daily basis. We've got a couple items this week. Let me run through them with you, and then we can start talking about other shit. Who knows? First of all, we have a Java Monster. It's a Loca Mocha flavored. If I can be honest with all of you, I don't like energy drinks. I know last week I drank the Coke energy drink. Fucking gross. But I especially don't like Monster. I have many friends who are addicted to Monster. I think it's disgusting. Every single Monster flavor I've tried, I don't like. I do like Red Bull, but that's a once every 2 months kind of thing where I'm up late
Gaming.
or editing a video and I want to stay awake, so I'll drink the smallest Red Bull container possible to maybe keep me awake for 2 more hours. I don't drink this on the regularly, so I think this might actually kill my heart. I know people often joke about how drinking energy drinks takes years off of your life. I think that this is going to take all of my remaining years off of my life. And
It's just gonna kill me on the spot.
I'm not looking forward to it. We have a can of Campbell's SpaghettiOs. The only one I could find was SpaghettiOs with meatballs. I hope that's okay, Will. That's all there was at the store. That's all I can say, really. Will told me that he liked to crack open the container and just eat it directly from the container. He also told me that he likes to put alcohol in his SpaghettiOs. He likes to pour Fireball. He likes to put white wine into his SpaghettiOs. I don't think I'm gonna do any of that. For those of you who aren't familiar, I don't really like to drink all that much, but I will just eat some fucking SpaghettiOs directly from the container. Like my life depends on it. We have Cool Ranch Doritos. I know that doesn't seem very odd to a lot of you, but I think Will's process and what he does with them is a little bit strange. He likes to get hot water. It can't be from the tap, he said, but like hot bottled water, like room temperature to warm bottled water, and he pours it into the Doritos bag, and then he just like reaches in and grabs what's left. He kind of lets it marinate for a few minutes, and then he just eats the moist Doritos. So we're gonna try that out. Let's see how it works out. And then for the final item, I just grabbed a container of Bumblebee sardines. They're
Sardines and water.
They're from Poland. That's pretty interesting, right?
This is something I actually look forward to. A little bit of a hot take. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it on the pizza episode, but I like to get not only pizza with anchovies, but anchovies and sardines in general are something that I can kind of fiend over, and not many others can.
That's something I legitimately look forward to. I'm gonna have some of them raw, and then I'll probably try to find a way to cook them. I'll probably just throw them in the microwave or something, but we'll just have to see. Before I get to taste testing all of this awesome, amazing stuff, I'm going to talk about my experience at the local convenience store. As I mentioned last week, no visit is without its own individual story, and those stories immediately go from there to here. I was talking about last week's story with someone, and they had asked me if I hyperbolized anything, if the story I was telling was actually true. All of the stories from the convenience store are absolutely true, and I don't know why people think that's something that I would lie about. I legitimately go to the store, come back here, and record the episode. So there's no room for me to misunderstand something or misconstrue it. It's directly from the source. I go from there to here, regurgitate it to you. That's it. These stories from the convenience store are the truth and nothing but the truth. And if anyone tells you otherwise,
Fuck him. I don't know.
all of this being said, I don't have too much to talk about at the convenience store this week. While I was there, the store was held at gunpoint. There's not much to talk about there. A gentleman in a hooded leather jacket and a ski mask came to the counter brandishing a firearm of some sort, took all the money out of the counter, and just left. I don't really have any funny details to add. It happens. It's part of life. It's part of the cycle. What was funny, and what I did want to bring up, is the cashier's face when I brought all of these zany items to the counter and placed them down. I wish I could photograph her face. She was traumatized by the multiple items I put at the counter. Maybe the whole robbery thing might have shaken her up a little bit, but I promise you that her day was changed when she saw all of these items approach the counter. And that's really it on convenience store stories this week. I'm very sorry that there wasn't as much as there usually is. I know that many of you look forward to these and the awkward social situations that arise from them. There's not too much social awkwardness in a live robbery, but you know, but picture this guy. I have my hands in the air and the guy with the gun is like, gee, look at this fucking nincompoop with his stupid fucking sardines, monster, and SpaghettiOs with meatballs. It was a little bit embarrassing for me. I don't know why the gunman had to go out of his way to alienate me like that. He could have just got his money and left, but the fact that he felt the need to roast me was hurtful and shitty of him. And that's really it. That's all I want to say, really. You know, there's a conversation that I've been having personally, like individually, through via DMs or private messages, that people are asking me if I'm okay, if my mental status is alright, if I'm depressed. I think that all that needs to be said about that is, of course. I think a lot of people don't understand how helpful this show is to not only my mental / emotional health, but to my physical health. Oftentimes on my days off, I would previously forget to eat. Like, I would just go 2 days and just not eat anything. But Some Like It Hot, it reminds me to eat, even if the food is absolutely disgusting. At least I'm, putting something into my body and not just starving myself. So, although I appreciate everyone's legitimate concerns, I'm good. This show is very helpful. It keeps me productive. It keeps me happy. It keeps my stomach full. And yeah. Thank you for all of your concern. I love you all very much. But, look at me. Do I look like the kind of guy who's struggling? The answer is yes, but that is very far from the point. Unfortunately, once again, there is no mail. I know last week I had a really intense mail time. I did the whole funny thing with the shirts. It was awesome. Everyone got a bunch of big laughs. Everyone thought it was really cool. But I don't have anything this week. It's very disappointing. I have multiple Goosebumps books en route to my house right now, but COVID, very topical conversation. It's been kind of messing up the delivery of a lot of my items.
Which is really inconveniencing me because
while I'm quarantining and while I'm wearing my mask at home, I really wish I had some, literature to sit down and read. That's why I bought so many Goosebumps books, to help me keep myself entertained and remind myself why I'm still alive. That's what Goosebumps do for me. I can't believe I spent $151 on fucking Goosebumps books. Somebody please help me. My habitual Goosebumps purchasing is a cry for help, and if you don't understand that, you have a really bad sense of judgment, my friend. Enough about all this depression talk, enough about getting robbed at gunpoint, enough of that sad shit. Let's get some good vibes in here. Can I get a good vibe in chat? Can someone post a comment of something very nice that'll make me feel good? It won't help, but please, anything will help at this point. I think I'm gonna start off with this coffee monster just because it's the thing I'm looking the least forward to. Damn, I don't have nails, so I can't grab this tab. Alright, there we go. Oh. Do these glasses hide the pain and fear in my eyes? I caught a fresh whiff of what remains in this vessel. It's bad. It smells like a yoo-hoo had violent sex with burned coffee. It smells like someone burned down a Starbucks and then pissed out the flames. Cheers, I guess. I guess I'm gonna have to do this, huh?
I don't like this.
Let's talk about consistency of beverages. Like, think of like a scale where it's like water and then to like, I don't fucking know, iced coffee or like a juice of some sort, where like liquids have varying consistency. So I went to take a sip of this thinking like, oh, iced coffee or like regular coffee, there's a little bit more thickness towards it. It came out somehow more liquid-like than water. It's like an oil. This tastes like I'm drinking coffee from a car muffler. Something that a lot of you don't see in my videos is me ingesting the initial liquids or solids. Something that I try to edit out of the videos is me just sitting here just sipping the beverage with no reaction other than just pain. I know last week I was editing the Coke video and it looks like I took like one sip of it and then just shat all over it. I drank probably about half the can, and I think that's probably going to be the same situation with this episode where you'll probably see me take like one big sip or two, but in reality I'm about halfway done this can and the rest I'm going to heat up. But just know that I am in pain and that I'm not being a pussy and just drinking one sip of a gross beverage and saying I don't like it. There's not much to try cold about Doritos. I'm just gonna eat a single Dorit, and then I'm gonna test the rest of them with Billy's technique. Doritos hot take. I like the Cool Ranch more than the nacho cheese. Do you guys want to start some kind of Dorito war in the comments? What's your favorite Dorito flavor? I think spicy chili is probably the best answer, but between nacho cheese and Cool Ranch, where do you guys reside?
Post a comment.
I think with the SpaghettiOs, there's not much for me to try before changing. I'm just going to, once everything else is prepared, bust into the can, you know, and just drink/eat directly from the can, okay?
But sardines, on the other hand, I'm gonna bust into these and have a good time.
I didn't know this would be a test of strength. Holy shit. Ooh, that smells terrible. Oh shit, I just spilled sardine liquid all over my leg. If I were a cat right now, I'd be screeching at max volume. I ripped the top off incorrectly, so I'll be back. I need to legitimately get this cover off. Alright, I just spilled it all over the carpet. I just successfully took the lid off. Are you guys proud of me? Post a comment if you're proud of me. I've popped off the cover here, and I put my glasses back on rather than these really cool early 2000s sunglasses, just because I really can't see without my glasses, and attempting to navigate a knife to open this just proved to be too much for me. These sunglasses are also very uncomfortable. I'm gonna keep them here as decoration, as a reminder of my humanity, but I still need to see. I'm sorry. I notice liquid keeps just spilling every time I move the can, so I think before I start just grabbing hunks of fish, I'm just gonna take a quick little shot of the water that resides in the can.
Sardine water.
I'm picturing a lot of the people viewing this video right now are gagging, or just their bodies are revolting at the sight of me doing all this. People hate sardines and anchovies for some reason.
I love them. Fuck you.
I think I don't need to fear the liquid pouring onto my feet anymore. That being said, I have coated my right foot in mystery
Fish water.
I think I'm just gonna grab a couple hunks of fish in here and just kind of go to town.
Good stuff.
You know, Billy, I think I could survive off of a diet like this. Maybe not the Java Monster, but just cans of sardines aplenty.
I feel like a primal animal.
Despite the fact that this is in a can and I didn't hunt for it. You can wash my hands real quick. To the viewers of this show, how long do you wash your hands? Do you use both soap and water?
You don't keep the water on while you're washing your hands, do you? You should be ashamed of yourself if you do that.
But post a comment about your hand washing habits. I'd love to hear about them. I'm sure they're very interesting, and I legitimately want to hear about them. So please, tell me all about them. All right, I think our fun has been had. Let's start preparing some food. Let me make myself a little bit of a 4-course meal out of the items provided. You know, this is more than anything a cooking show. It tells you the do's and don'ts of the kitchen. Mostly the don'ts of the kitchen, but you never know. I might educate you on something. Teach you what a pot is, teach you what a pan is, teach you to not cook gummy bears on a pan unless you want to be scrubbing them for an hour and a half. Valuable kitchen lessons with Kyle. What do you guys think of that name? Should I change the name of the show to that? Wouldn't that be funny? Whew, I'm
Painfully unfunny.
all right, let's get down to it. Now I've been debating what to do with these sardines. I've been thinking about putting them in the microwave, putting them in the emoji mug, and then putting them in the microwave. I was truly lost on what to do. I found a video by an older gentleman. Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he was talking about a canned sardine hack.
Did I ever tell you about this sardine hack?
It's a real cheat in life. What he did is he legitimately just took the can and just placed it on a pan and then just heated it on top of the oven. The guy's positive attitude and the fact that he's like, everyone eats sardines, this is a normal thing, everyone does this. It really inspired me. So in honor of that gentleman, I'm just gonna place the sardines on this pan and put that shit on the highest possible fucking setting. And this is how we're gonna cook our sardines. So to the random old guy, I'll credit him somehow. Thank you. Your knowledge of how to prepare sardines has single-handedly saved this channel. Thank you. While these sardines are grilling away, I'm gonna do the Doritos thing real quick. I made sure to grab a baby Poland Spring bottle that was just hanging out on the counter. The directions clearly stated that they had to be lukewarm or warm. So this is room temperature. That being said, my apartment is
About 8 million degrees, which pisses me off tremendously.
I don't actually have like a measurement on what the appropriate amount of water to Doritos ratio is. I'm just gonna eyeball it and we're gonna say it's good. Oh, hell yeah. Listen to that shit. Alright, the bag's getting a little bit heavy. Alright. A little bit more water. Maybe that'll... Alright. I'm gonna throw up at the scent. So I think what the idea is then I seal it and let it marinate for a few minutes. So while we're preparing the other things, the water is gonna be polluting the Doritos, okay?
The sardines just blew up. That scared the honest to God shit out of me, and I feel like I got trolled by that guy.
We're gonna go ahead and move that off the burner. No more explosions in this household. Holy shit. Do I dare put it back on the burner? Alright, I legitimately don't want that to happen again. I'm taking it off the burner. It smells like it's grilled. It smells like it's cooked. If you could see what the sardines look like, they really don't look like they've been cooked at all. But I'm trying to avoid travesty. I think I'm just gonna take this and go put it on the counter and we're just gonna eat directly off the pan. So that's another item we're finished with. We're done preparing. All right, what are everyone's thoughts towards the Java Monster? I think I'm just gonna throw into the emoji mug and we're gonna put it in the microwave. How you guys feel about that? I don't give a shit how you feel. Post a comment though. Let's get some good visual ASMR here. Let's do a little bit of a, ooh. Isn't that appealing on the eyes? This looks so fucking gross. This looks like urine. Ooh, coffee urine. Don't break eye contact with me. Okay, that's enough. What's the appropriate time that I microwave a Java Monster for? How do I get the best results? Post a comment on your thoughts. I'm gonna say probably like 6 minutes. That's probably like a good time, right? I'm praying that there isn't a small explosion like with the fucking sardines, because that was, my heart wasn't ready for that, especially off the Java Monster. My heart was already racing, so to have a small explosion in my kitchen, honest to God, scared the shit out of me. Wow, would you look at that? 6 minutes never flew by faster. I don't like the aura that this cup is emanating. Very bad vibes are just glowing off of this mug. Yo, you get first viewing. Ooh, looks like fucking Swiss Miss. Looks like some fucking hot chocolate. What happens if I shake it a little bit? Alright, well, that looks fine. How are we feeling?
Is anybody feeling happy anymore? Is anybody really happy? Are we living in a simulation?
Post a comment if you... Did somebody order the grilled sardines? Now that everything's prepped and ready, what item should I eat first? If given this 5-course meal, what item would you start with? Be honest with me. We're gonna start things as positively as possible. I'm gonna eat some SpaghettiOs with meatballs directly from the container, just because I legitimately think that's the best item that we have today. Even if they're cold and directly from the container, I think it's probably my safest bet. So let's start this Wildman William food marathon with this. Be real with y'all. You guys like SpaghettiOs? Have you ever had them cold? Has anyone ever eaten cold SpaghettiOs? I know Will did. Will, don't comment you eat cold SpaghettiOs, because I fucking know. But it's not bad. I think if you never told me that I was supposed to heat them up, I probably would just eat them cold. I am a bit of a Neanderthal, but you know. This is some of the best eating I've had in a while. And I don't mean all of the food, I mean just this can of SpaghettiOs. This is the best meal I've had in weeks. When you get to be a certain age, you stop caring about yourself, and you don't really care about eating, and the things that you do eat are so low effort that doesn't even constitute eating really. It's just you're kind of haphazardly throwing food into your mouth. I'm gonna consider 3 bites to be enough. That was 3 big spoonfuls, and probably off camera, I'm just gonna eat the rest of it directly from the can. What next? I really don't want to do the chips. The chips aren't something I look forward to. I think I'm gonna try the Monster next. Just to kind of, you know.
Wet my gullet.
Oh, that's the worst way you could say that.
Ooh, some like it hot? Not with this beverage. Ugh.
You thought I didn't like the beverage cold. Let me tell you something.
I didn't even put ice cubes in this. How many ice cubes should I have put in the Java Monster? Post a comment. I'm trying to drink as much of it as I can. That being said, it's very hard. I hope Will is watching this at home. I know that he is alone in Maine right now and is looking for some kind of human connection. I hope this is doing something for you, because Lord knows it's not doing anything for me. The loneliness that I experience on a daily basis, I pray that it's somehow communicated within this show. That's enough of that. That's seriously enough of that. Alright. Oh shit, Suckling fell over. Let's open this package. The smell is worse than anything I can even fathom. The seasoning and the fucking Poland spring water, it triggers something chemically. Will, how the fuck do you do this? Do you use like a spoon or a fork or some sort of device to like get the chips out, or do you sip the water? What do you do with this travesty, this nightmare? I wish you guys could hear the slish sloshing from the inside of the container. It's some good ASMR. That's gonna help me sleep at night. All right. All right, it's dripping, but the top of it is dry. This is making me sick. This is fucked up. This is not okay. All right, this one's fully submerged in the water. This one is just...
No more chips.
2 is my maximum. I'm sorry. There's an equal balance of the flavoring going into the water and the water lack of a flavor going into the chips. It's just soggy. And it just tastes like water. I know water doesn't taste like anything, but when you're diving into a delicious, fun chip and getting that depressing, dank water taste, it's traumatizing. It's sickening, it's traumatizing. To finish off this meal, a little bit of dessert if you would. I'm gonna grab a little bit of a lick of sardines right out of the can, right off of the pan. Despite the fact that it exploded everywhere and gave me the closest thing to a heart attack I've ever experienced, this is pretty good. It actually tastes like I legitimately cooked the sardines. Like there's that little bit of a smoky flavor. I'm proud of myself. All you comedians watching this show telling me that I don't know shit about cooking.
Let me tell you, sister.
I figured it out. Next thing you know, I'm gonna be writing a cookbook. I'm gonna kill myself. This is dinner. I got good eats. This is the most I've eaten in quite some time. While eating those sardines, I felt like a wild man. Like I live in the woods of Maine and I'm just spearfishing sardines and just, you know, tearing them apart with my bare hands and just scooping the innards into my mouth. Makes me feel powerful. I think this is the first time in Some Like It Hot history where I feel uplifted by the food. Time to rank it all. Where do all of these portions of my meal rank? We're gonna do top to bottom. Number 1, the crown jewel / winner of this episode.
Sardines.
Both cold and hot. Sardines are great. Sardines are legitimately what this show should have been. Some people eat the cold sardines out of the can with the water, but then when I try to heat it up, I actually make something that other people would enjoy. So like I feel like you could have a conversation for both sides. Some like it hot, some don't like it hot, but some do. For the first time in history, I've actually done as the title states. Number 2.
Goes to the cold SpaghettiOs.
When talking on the phone with William / Billiam Broden, I scoffed at the idea of this depressed Maine resident scooping handfuls of SpaghettiOs into his mouth and then putting liquor into the SpaghettiOs and eating it like that. But, you know?
Well, I totally get it. SpaghettiOs are great, both cold and hot.
They definitely get the number 2 placement. Number 3.
Goes to the Java Monster.
I hated both forms of it, but at least it's not the wet Doritos. Number 4 at the very bottom.
The wet Doritos.
I can't even begin to understand why you would ever do that. I don't know what compelled you to do it in the first place, and I don't know what compelled you to do it still. What's happening in Maine where you are soaking your Doritos in water and then just... Oh, the Doritos nearly ruined my entire night and this entire meal.
Why the fuck does it have to be room temperature? Why does it have to be lukewarm or warm water? What's the significance? I can't even begin to understand Will's thought process on this. Will, if you're watching, which I know you are, please try to explain for the audience and me your rationing on putting the Doritos in water. We need to know. Everybody needs to know.
Ooh, I'm praying that this Schweppes ginger ale is enough to lift me out of this depression that I've been placed in with this nightmare of a meal. I'm more of a Canada Dry type of gentleman, but anything will probably help in this scenario. Alright, I'm feeling revitalized. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling strong. Rather than, you know, doing another Snapple fact, I really liked last week when I read the back of the DVD of Night Beast, so I'm going to do that again with another movie I received recently. It's called The Suckling. It's got this disgusting creature on the front. Let's read the back of it and see what it has in store for us. After being tricked into having an abortion at Big Mama's underground abortion clinic / brothel, a young woman's extracted fetus is flushed into the sewer system, wherein it's exposed to toxic waste and begins to mutate into an ever-growing and increasingly bloodthirsty monster. The girls, Johns, and other assorted weirdos find themselves trapped inside the brothel where they're forced to face off against the agitated, prenatal creature, as well as each other, in a high-stakes quest to stay alive or at least in one piece. An offbeat and gleefully violent monster horror comedy from one-time director Francis Terry, The Suckling brings gratuitous gore, nonchalant TNA, and a sly side helping of social commentary, resulting in a distinctive 80s horror indie gem. Vinegar Syndrome presents this direct-to-video favorite on Blu-ray in the US for the first time, and a brand new 2K restoration made from its original 16mm camera negative. Wow, doesn't that sound awesome? I think on that awesome bloodthirsty fetus note, we're gonna wrap this episode up. I want you all to know that I love you, that I inflict this pain upon myself for your entertainment and for your laughs. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, whether you're on Instagram or YouTube. Just hit the like button. Even if you didn't like this video, definitely still hit the like button. I know that probably this comedy is not for everyone, and a lot of people are appalled at what they're seeing, but hit the like button anyway. What do you gotta lose? If I, at all in this video, prompted you to comment something, or if you feel compelled to write something in the comments, please do. Will, I look forward to whatever you may have to say to me, so please go ahead and have a great time in the comments, my friend. I thank you for the excellent episode, because I was really struggling on ideas on what to heat up, and your bizarre phone call was what I needed in this trying time. Definitely subscribe to me. I know that this video is not only on YouTube but also Instagram. So if you're viewing this on Instagram and you want to support me further, definitely go to my YouTube page and just spam likes on all the videos, spam comments on all the videos, and subscribe to that. Just because that's where I prefer to post all my stuff. And going on in the future, if I work on other series, I might not actually put those on Instagram. They might just be YouTube only. And I don't want you to miss out on amazing laughs that you may miss out on if you don't follow me there. If you haven't seen the film Street Trash, or the film Night Beast, or The Suckling, definitely check those out. They're all awful movies, and I encourage you to watch them. There's no witty quotes this week. I don't got anything for you. So with that, I love you all. Stay safe. Don't make the same decisions I make. And that's it. Have a good night. Peace.
Yo, what's up, Kyle? I was just wondering, I got a question for you. I really need to know your advice on this. I'm just having trouble deciding whether I should walk to work or if I should bring my lunch. So I was wondering, what do? Do you walk to work or do you bring your lunch?